Good morning, welcome back to In the Garden. Paul and Taft here, and today we're going to talk about broadleaf evergreens. Now we know what evergreens are, they always keep that color throughout the year. What more should we know about these things?
That they serve so many different purposes in the garden. So many of them can be either tree-like or shrub-like, or you can prune them to be a shrub if they tend to get tall. But holy cow, to be able to walk out in the dead of winter and see so much green is a wonderful thing. These are laurels, a couple of different types here, the more familiar standard laurel, if you will. And then we have a cherry laurel. They look remarkably similar, but when you start looking at a close-up of the leaf edge, you can see that they're a little different. Easy to take care of, sun to partial shade, no big deal. Boxwoods are the next one I want to show you.
Let's go. Okay, Paul, now we're over to the boxwoods, and again, you see this in a lot of yards across eastern Oklahoma. Tell us a little bit about this shrub.
Yeah, it does such a great job of just anchoring the landscape in so many different ways. Looks great as a hedge. They look great as single specimens. They take to topiary forms.
That's
like
right,
this.
yes.
We're not sure what this is yet, but do well in sun, actually do really well in shade around here. Versatile, easy to grow, not too picky about soil types. It's another great plant, another one of those great broadleaf evergreens.
Okay, Paul, now we're going to talk about something a lot of times we think about more during Christmas time, but it is the holly. Several varieties of holly. Some are a little pointy with their leaves, some are smooth. Tell us about them.
Well, you're absolutely right. Ouch, that one hurts. So that had the pointed leaf. This has a relatively smooth leaf. Now we get back to pointy. There's a deciduous holly as well, called the possum haw, but most of them, by and large, they are evergreens. The berries, of course, are magnificent when they turn that red, and the birds just love them. So, great plant. Now here's one. This is actually a native. This is an Oklahoma native. This is the Yopon holly.
Okay.
Now, lest you think that botanists don't have a sense of humor, the botanical name on this is Ilex vomitoria.
Nice.
Because if you brew a tea, as Native Americans once did, as a rite of passage, you brew a tea with these leaves, it's not toxic, but you'll lose your lunch.
Sounds exciting.
Or your breakfast, as the case may be. Sorry. We walked right past the magnolias.
Yeah, we have to take care of those.
Let's back up.
Let's go. All right, Paul, finally, now we're getting to one of those plants that is about as recognizable as you can get, the magnolia. It's unbelievable in its leaves, and the flowers, boy, they look and smell just unbelievable as well.
Oh, they're so good. Yeah, it's, like the stately tree of the South, the Magnolia grandiflora. It's appropriately named. They get real big, but this is called Little Jim, and this is a much smaller variety. Now, it'll still get 25 feet or so, but that's relatively small for a magnolia. One thing about magnolias, keep this in mind, wherever you want it, make sure it's going to stay there. They do not take well to transplanting.
Okay.
99% of the time, if you try and transplant one, you're going to lose it. And
another nice thing about all these plants we've been talking about is the maintenance with these. Not like most of the trees that you have generally in the yard, which drop a lot of leaves. These, they don't really require much in the way of any cleanup.
Not too much. Magnolia, among everything that we've talked about, magnolia is probably the messiest. The problem there is that people tend to limb them up and remove the lower limbs so that you see all that leaf litter. Keep the lower limbs where they are, and all that leaf litter is hidden.
Head on out, take a look through some of these broadleaf evergreens, and keep that color in your yard all year long.